Facebook. Good afternoon. This is Antonio Newton, your local realtor with Exit. Here talking, something came up in my interaction with the client in regards to making an offer. So that's why I'm discussing this video. But as always, I want to give people an opportunity to watch it, to ask any questions that you would like. Right now, I'll kind of just wait for some people to chime in. Hey, Katie, how you doing? But what this is about is making an offer. I hope everyone's having a great week. It's been productive. It's been fantastic. Watching the Olympics, go USA. So, making an offer. Whenever you're going through the home buying process and you've already looked at properties and you found the house that you want, now it's time to make an offer. One thing is important is time. I do think that you should think about it, but if you've been looking at properties and you pretty much have your mindset and you find the one, go ahead and make an offer. I've seen it where a client is asleep on it and the next day that property is gone. It doesn't happen all the time, but I would hate for that to happen. With that being said, I do believe that things happen for a reason, and for that situation that you will end up with the house that is best for you. I encourage my sellers when listing their properties to try to keep it within market valuable, so you price it right for the market so you can sell it faster. And I tell my buyers the same thing. Obviously, we always want to negotiate and get great value, but there's some reasons why that may not necessarily always be the best thing to do. And I want to kind of explain those in this video as well. One, you only get one time to make a first impression. So that first offer, if you come in and lowball, and if you really want that house, then you could hinder your negotiation or negotiating position later during the contract. It is a business decision. Some people do mix emotions and take it personal, so they feel insulted that you're giving them this lowball offer, and then they're not as willing to negotiate with you if you then come back with a more reasonable offer. Then sometimes they can play what you call hardball. So it just makes it difficult to go in and lowball an offer like that. And not only that, buying a house is a long-term investment. So when you see a house on the market, you're buying into this neighborhood, you're buying into this community. So you want those values and those prices to rise. Because if you come in and let's say the house is $100,000, and you want a discount of $5,000, so you want to get the house for $95,000, and you're able to negotiate and do that, then when someone else is buying in that neighborhood, they're going to see that comp of $95,000. And if they have a very similar house, then they may want to try to get 90, with the same mindset. And then as this cycle continues, when you go to sell your house, it's going to be harder for you to get good value for your house, because by this negotiating power and discount, you have really lessened the value of your property. So when you're making an offer, you want to be reasonable. You want to think about closing costs. Are you asking the seller to pay closing costs? Because that's coming out of their pocket. Everybody has a bottom line at the end of the day. You can afford X amount of dollars, and they need to walk away with X amount of dollars. And so, closing costs, if you're asking for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in closing costs, that's coming out of their net profit. They also pay the real estate commissions, which is anywhere from 6, 7, 8%. You as the buyer, you have your closing cost of your prepaids, your loan origination fee, title search, attorney fees, and all those things that you have to take into account, along with the appraisal and, of course, any home inspection that you want done. So when you're making an offer, you want to take all of these things into consideration. Any contingencies. Contingency would be like when you're moving in. I've had one where they wanted to wait because their kids were in school, so they really didn't want to move until June. So we wrote the contract in February, and our offer got accepted because my client's lease wasn't up. So they wanted to stay in their apartment as well, and then that gave them time to, get everything packed up and time to move, and then actually clean up the apartment to make sure they get their deposit back. So these are what are called contingencies in the contract, where it affects your offer. Maybe if you have a house to sell first. If you have a house to sell, and you can go ahead and put in an offer on another house, and you will not be on the contract until your home sells. Essentially, they can still market the property. They can still take other contracts, and what your your contract becomes a backup offer until you sell your property. And then once you sell your property, if they don't have any other offers, then your offer is valid and legit. And then that's when all the dates and timelines start per your contract. You can also have it where, if you're looking to come into a lump sum of money from tax returns or, 401k or what have you for your down payment, you can still go ahead and write a contract and just have a delayed closing. I've had one where we wrote a contract in February and closed in April. And you can even do it further than that. Of course, the buyer and the seller have to agree on it. But anything can be discussed. Home warranties, that's something. If you're expending a lot of your money on the closing costs and on your down payment, then you should, Travis, I see you preach. Then you should ask for a home warranty, because that will help offset some of repairs that you may have inside the first year of the house. And then you can always renew that. A home warranty, you pay a $75 call fee, and they'll come out there and look at your electrical issue or plumbing issue or whatever issue you're having. And that's a good way to offset that. So I appreciate you all watching. I just wanted to give you some information on making an offer and things to consider whenever you're approaching it. You want to think about the contingencies. You want to think about how you're adding value to this community and to this neighborhood. So lowballing it, I don't recommend it. It's not what's best for you, and it's not what's best for the seller in the transaction. So you want to maintain value in your neighborhood and your home. And as always, if you have any other questions in regards to real estate, you can always call me, 803-608-2597. Everybody have a great day. Go USA, and I'll talk to you soon.